Welcome back everybody to Hayes Tech and ROM Reviews. Today we're going to go over an action camera that I found on Amazon. The camera is called the Action Camera Vision 3 by Dragon Touch. It does shoot in 4K 30 frames per second. It shoots in 2.7K at 30 frames per second, 180p at 60 frames per second, and 720p at 60 frames per second. It also shoots slow motion, 180p in 60 frames per second and 720p in 120 frames per second. As you guys can see, it has a 16 megapixel Sony sensor in it. It does have a 170 degree field of view. It is waterproof up to 98 feet. If you use the waterproof case that comes with it, and it is Wi-Fi capable, we'll get more in depth on that later. You do have to download an app in order for that to work. As you guys can see again, it has a CMOS sensor, which is basically just a Sony 16 megapixel sensor. I think the video quality and picture quality is good. I'm not going to say it's stellar or outstanding, but it is good. Here are the video resolutions. Again, everything that I'd mentioned already. You know, right there, image resolution, again I said 16 megapixels for the image resolution. Say you're going to be shooting pictures, and it takes pictures pretty good too. It's got a 2-inch LCD screen. It does have Android. It works for Android and iOS for the Wi-Fi. Again, 170 degree lens, micro SD card up to 64 gigabytes. Guys, you need to get a class 10 micro SD card. Do not go cheap on this. Your image quality and video quality is going to be dependent on what SD card you get, guys. Get a class 10. It needs to be at least 85 to 100 megabytes per second data transfer speed. Battery. It comes with 2 batteries and a charger and a very short cable. You can plug it into your computer and charge it that way. You can also use it as a PC camera. You can use it as a car camera if you want. It does have loop mode in it. It's got a lot of functions for the price, guys. This is a camera that is under $50. When you open the box, what you're going to get is the camera. And the camera is going to come in the waterproof housing. And the only way that I recommend that you guys use the waterproof housing is if you are going to be shooting underwater. Or if it's raining, you know, and you don't want to get water in the camera, then yeah, I would say use this. But if you're going to use it for an inside the car camera, or if you're going to be using it for a vlogging camera, which I have videos later on in this video showing a representation of that, don't use this, because now the video sensor has to shoot through this plastic lens, and it's gonna fog it up. It's just going to make it look worse. So I highly suggest not using this unless you're going to be shooting underwater. And if you are going to be shooting underwater, then yes, absolutely, you have to use this. I don't have any video in this particular review of shooting underwater, but I am going to do some water videos, and I will upload them as soon as I can get out. Again, guys, with my health, it's kind of hard for me to get out. But with the outer shell, or the waterproof shell, you do have the power button or the mode button, the camera button that you shoot, and your volume up, volume down button, and this is also your switching between modes. It works like this. You pull up from the front, swing it out, open the back up like that, and flip the camera out. The camera is actually very, very light, you know. And I gotta admit, guys, I was thinking this was going to be a total piece of crap, but I was really quite surprised with it. Even though I did only give it a 3-star rating on Amazon, and the reason I did was because of the app that they use. They really need to get a proprietary app like GoPro uses to make things much easier for them and get the connection quicker. That's where you put your SD card, your micro SD card. Again, it will take one up to 64 gigabytes. It does have an HDMI out port, mini HDMI out port, and then of course your mini USB port, which you can connect to your battery charger and charge it that way, or connect it to a computer for file transfers, using it as a video camera, or you know, whatever. That's about it. Again, it has a little LED light letting you know that it's on. I thought I saw another one on here somewhere for, oh yeah, these will come on as you're recording and stuff. That's pretty much it for that. Now we're going to go ahead and get into the box and see what the accessories are. And it comes with a lot of accessories, although I wish it would have come with a little bit more. It comes with enough for you to at least do some of the stuff you need. This is the important one. This is the case that you want to use for it if you want to hook it to like a tripod or something like that. The camera just fits in like this. You slide it in, snap it the whole way. And of course this will allow you to connect it to any of the attachments or your tripod, which if you're going to use it as a vlogging camera, you're going to want to be able to hook it to a tripod, and it's good on them that they at least have that. Let's go ahead and dig a little. I'm just going to dump it out and we're going to get into it. It comes with several straps with Velcro on them for strapping it. It comes with a back case. Another back case is not waterproof. Or is it waterproof? No, it's not waterproof. It's got vents in the back. That allows the camera to breathe. Plus, you can also put Velcro straps through that to attach it to something. But remember, if you use this back case cover, it's not waterproof anymore. Again, well, this is not. That doesn't come with it. It comes with several of these. Again, the instructions in it actually tell you how to use these in different combinations to get it to work. It comes with some zip ties, 2 of these bases. Now, one of the bases I actually have in my truck to use as a stand for, you know, doing like car, you know, well, for a car camera. It does come with a bicycle handle mount as well. This is the stand that, like I said, if this is in your car, attached to your dash, you hook the camera here, and then all you do is slide this in like, whoops, like this. It slides into these slots right here. If I can do it without shaking. You push it all the way in and it'll snap. Let me turn it around this way. It always never works for me when I'm trying to do video of it. Let me see. I'm doing something wrong. There it goes. And it snaps in, see? And then this has a 3M peel off, and you stick it onto whatever you want. I would have loved to have seen this with suction cups, but it didn't come with that. But at least the adhesives they use are 3M, and I've got to salute them for that. That's outstanding. It also comes with a remote. I've tried to use the remote. I didn't have any luck with it, but you guys might have better luck. The only issue I have so far is the app. You have to load the app called XV as in Victor D off the Play Store or iOS, their Play Store, in order to use this and connect to the Wi-Fi. But once you do, I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised. And we're going to let the rest of this video for showing you guys the camera quality of the Dragon Touch 4K. Let's go ahead and get to the camera test with this. Alright, this is a demonstration of the Dragon Touch 4K Vision 3 camera. You can get from Amazon for about 40-45 bucks. It's under $100. This isn't the one with the image stabilization, although from everything I've read, the image stabilization is not that good. I am recording this in 4K, 30 frames per second. It will also record 2K, or half of that, with the same frame rate. It will record in 1080p in 60 frames per second, which I'm going to demonstrate here shortly. But I wanted you guys to see what this camera would look like in case you want to use it for like a vlogging camera or, say, your YouTube camera. If this is the kind of setup you want, you know, where it's a talking head, so to speak. That's about it. I am using the app. I finally got the app to work. It was a nightmare, guys. They really need to work on getting their own app working for their own devices. That way it's simple. GoPro's got it made. Their app works perfectly. There's no reason why Dragon Touch or the creator of this camera can't do the same. So we're going to try the 1080p 60 frames per second and see how that looks as well. Alright, this is 2.7K 30 frames per second. I wanted you guys to see how this looks as well. Same camera, I'm using the Dragon Touch. I'm also, this is a good representation of how the mic picks up noise. You can't pair a separate mic, a plug-in mic, anything like that. You have to go with the onboard internal microphone. That is one of the features I think really hurts this camera. I think all cameras that you're going to use seriously, you should be able to at least pair up a Bluetooth mic with it to get around the very low quality built-in mic that comes with it. So next what we're going to do is we're going to try the 1080p and 1080p 60 frames per second. So we're going to go to that next. By the way, I'm using the app to start and stop the video recording. Alright, we are now shooting in 1080p 60 frames per second. I think if you are going to be outside doing a lot of shooting where you're going to have a lot of movement, I really think that the 1080p 60 frames per second is probably going to be the mode that you want to shoot with this camera. You want your frame rate as high as you can get if you're going to be shooting anything that's moving. Even for a car camera, you want to be able to see things that are whizzing by at 60 miles per hour instead of it being all choppy, which you're going to get with a low frame rate. So I suggest a 1080p 60 frames per second if you're going to use it for outdoor stuff or for a car camera, things like that. And this does have the loop feature in it if you're going to use it for a car camera, which means it will loop over itself, delete whatever's on there, and just start all over again. Also, I recommend that you use a Class 10 micro SD card. If you want the best out of your videos, you need to get the best and the fastest micro SD cards on the market. A camera is only as good as the media it stores its information on. Right now I'm using a SanDisk Class 10. It's 80 or 85 megabytes per second. So you can get a Samsung, which is supposed to shoot at 100 megabytes per second, but you need to get at least a Class 10. So this was the 1080p 60 frames per second. So the 4K resolution, I think, I've looked at some of the video and it looks pretty good. The only problem is at the 30 frames per second, notice my shirt, you can see a lot of artifacting going on with the lines. And I wore this shirt purposely because with a 4K, only at 30 frames per second, and if the processor can't keep up, you're not even really getting 30 frames per second. You're going to get a lot of jumping and jittering and stuff like that. Now, the 1080p 60 frames per second, I think looks really good. Again, I think even for vlogging, I think that's going to be your best bet. Alright, again, this is 1080p 60 frames per second. Again, I can still see a little bit of artifacting going on, but that's with the picture I'm seeing through my phone. If you guys can see, I'm going to go ahead and bring this around. This is how I'm checking it out. See, with using the app. That way, I know what I'm recording. Because again, this doesn't have a flip-out screen where you can see what you're recording. So you got to trust on the app showing you what you're recording, or you looking at the back videoing or taping something else. Listen to me taping, like we're using tape. So, again, I think the camera is okay. I can't give you guys, like if I was going to give it a 4 out of 5 or a 5 out of 5, I'd have to probably go with the 4. I'm not going to give it a 5 out of 5 because it's, GoPro is 5 out of 5, especially if you get the GoPro 6 or the GoPro 7. I could get onto a whole other rant with the GoPros because they do have some really good ones, and then they got some that this one would probably put them to shame. But again, I wish this had touchscreen interface. I wish it had a flip-out screen, which it doesn't. It's an action camera. None of them do. I wish the app worked better. I wish it was built for this specific camera only, as GoPro has. But with the app, when you finally do get it to connect, it does work very well. You do need to shut off your Wi-Fi that you're running. Like if you're running your home network, you want to forget that network because your phone's going to want to keep connecting back to that. Other than that, I didn't have to put it in airplane mode or anything like that. Once you download the app, and the app is, well, I can't pause it. The app is XA something, let me just go home. It's called XDV, alright? That's what the app is called. So, alright, I got cut off on the last one, and I did this again, and somehow it got ruined again. So we're doing this again. The app is called XVD. You want to go to the Play Store, you want to type in XVD, V as in Victor, V as in Victor, D. Two apps are going to show up, XVD and XVD Pro. Make sure you download XVD, not the Pro version. The Pro has nothing to do with the camera, it's more of a VPN. So make sure that you download only V as in Victor, D app, okay? Once you download that app, what you're going to do is go into your phone, you're going to shut off or forget your home network, or the phone's going to keep trying to connect to that. Some people say turn off your data on your phone. I think it doesn't really matter, but you do have to turn your home Wi-Fi network off so your phone doesn't keep trying to connect. Once you do, go to your camera, hold up on the volume button for 3 seconds. Your Wi-Fi is going to turn on the camera. Then go to your phone, and you want to go into your Wi-Fi settings, and you're going to look for Action Camera. Click on it. It's going to ask for the password. You're going to type in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 0. Hit connect. It's going to connect, but it'll say connected, no internet. Get out of that, then go open up the XVD app, and when you do, it's going to ask you, well, it's going to show Wi-Fi networks again. Again, choose Action Camera. When you do, it's finally going to connect, and you're going to get this. It's going to show you what the camera is doing. Right now, we are recording. You can flip it in landscape, but if you do, you're not going to be able to see any of the settings. By the way, you can access all of the settings for the camera in this app. Changing it to slow motion, change your frame rates, go to 4K, 2.7K, 60 frames, or 720. Even in slow motion, you have 1080p. Well, you can do slow motion up to 4K if you want, but it really looks bad. It's 1080p, 60 frames per second, or you can do 720p in 120 frames per second, which I think looks really good. That's about all I can think of for this. I think it's an outstanding camera for the price. If I was going to recommend somebody to buy an action camera or a camera for vlogging, an action camera is not the way to go. But at the price, I think that this would do good for a vlogging camera, with the exception of the microphone, which I think really sounds bad. And there's no way to put an external mic on this. So if you're thinking of that route, by using an action camera for a vlogging camera and to have an action camera, I suggest saving up a little bit of money. Go to the $100 to $150, maybe even $200 price range. You can find used cameras. The GoPro Hero 4 Black, you can get used for like $139 to $175. That'll take an external mic. It has outstanding video quality. I highly recommend any of the GoPros from Hero 4 up. Anything down below that, you're probably going to be just as good with a camera like this. The E4K Plus, you can get that for, I think, $199. You can get some used versions of that for about $150, thereabouts. I've seen some actually down around the $120 range, but by the time you get shipping and all that in, you're going to be up, where you were to begin with. So, I think this camera has its merits. Is it as good as the other cameras on the market at this price range? I don't know. I don't have the money to go out and purchase all these cameras to test them myself, because remember, when I get these, I'm purchasing these. They're not being given to me by the companies. I still have a small YouTube channel, and I like it small, that way I can answer all of you guys' questions, but I think for the price, I think it's good. I think it's a good camera. And I gave it a 3-star rating on Amazon, but that's because I couldn't get the app to work. Now that I finally got the app to work, I think I would probably give it 4 out of 5 stars. I do think it's worth that. That's all I have. If you guys like the video, give it a thumbs up. I want to thank, I just want to thank all my subscribers. You guys are awesome. If you guys are new to the channel, you happen to be scrolling across YouTube or was looking for some review on the on the Dragon Touch 4K Vision 3, and you happen to find my video, and you like it, give it a thumbs up. You know, I'm honest, I don't give you anything that you're not going to want to know. I'm an average person just like the rest of you guys. I can't afford to go out there and buy a bunch of phones or cameras and test them. So, but if you like the video, you know, subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. So that's all I've got. I want to let you guys know again that when I hit the 2,000 subscriber mark, I am going to be having another giveaway. And if you like the last one that I had, you're really going to love this one. It's going to really top it. So make sure you guys are looking for that. Remember, share my videos. That way I can get to that 2,000 subscriber mark. That's pretty much all I have, and I will see you guys on the next one.